What's up, homies? Welcome to another episode of the Homeys Real Estate Podcast. This is your host, Anthony.
I'm Angel.
I'm a realtor.
I'm a lender.
And hopefully together we can give you a pretty good idea of what's happening in this crazy real estate market. We got a really good one for you. And this is a podcast that if you're listening on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, I really recommend tuning into our YouTube version or our social media version where you can see these charts, because it's really chart extensive. It's going to give you a better idea of what's happening. We're going to be going over Keeping Current Matters. Again, it's the organization that puts out content from different real estate agencies, compiles it all together, and then gives it out to us so we have an understanding of what's happening in this market. And there's 5 articles that I feel are really important that I want to address that will give you a good idea. So I'm going to jump right into it. The first one is what's happening with home prices. So there is a chart here from the FHFA, from CoreLogic, and from the S&P Case-Shiller. Basically, 3 organizations that track home price appreciation. And what we're starting to notice, as you can see on this chart here, is that home price appreciation is starting to slow down. So when we look at year-over-year increases, in January it was 10%, in February 10.4%, in March 11.3%, April 13%, in May 15.4%, in June 17.2%, in July 18%, and then it just went up to 18.1% in August, starting to slow down. And this was expected. We were expecting to have really strong appreciation in the first half of the year, and then for it to really slow down in the second half of the year. Nonetheless, prices are up 18.1% year over year, which is pretty amazing to see. But the good thing for you buyers is that prices are starting to finally slow down in appreciation growth. This doesn't mean that prices aren't going to continue to increase. That's not what it means. It just means that we are going to revert back to a normal amount of appreciation, which is going to be somewhere in the ballpark of 5 to 6%. The average appreciation for over the last 25 years is 5.1%. So revert back to an average similar to that. Angel, what catches your attention about this?
It's something that I think, like Anthony said, we've kind of predicted it to start slowing down as far as appreciation. Key thing he said, remember, that does not mean home prices are going to drop. That does not mean for you homeowners that your home's going down in value. It just means it's going to go up in value at a slower pace, right? So with that being said, that's still a great sign, right? Appreciation is appreciation at the end of the day. So a 5% appreciation is phenomenal, right? So for you guys who bought this past year, in about 3.5 years, you guys have 20% equity if you bought with an FHA loan, right? So I always look at it on the lending side. How could it benefit you buyers that have already bought this year? So if you bought with an FHA loan 3.5% down sometime this year, most likely in 3.5 years, you can remove that mortgage insurance, right? And that's just, I think, a pretty safe estimation, right? 5%, but it can probably be anywhere between 5 to 7%, I would guess. So still great appreciation forecast for at least the next year. Yeah, absolutely. So again, it doesn't mean prices are going to drop. They're probably going to continue to increase, just at a much more normal rate. Remember, year over year appreciation is close to 20%. So let's just take a $500,000 home. With 20% appreciation, your home is now going to be worth $600,000 or just a little bit more. That's quite a bit of equity just in year over year gains by appreciation. If we revert back to 5%, your $500,000 home is going to be worth $525,000, which is still $25,000 in equity that you just gained just by appreciation alone. So that's still quite a bit of money just for owning the home. I want to go into our next article, Angel. And the next article details really what a lot of sellers have been experiencing, and that's that the average home still receives several offers. Yes, the real estate market is starting to cool off nationwide, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to get multiple offers. The average home right now, according to the National Association of Realtors, is receiving 3.7 offers as of September.
right? And I have a chart here detailing what the difference is from state to state. In California, that's 4 offers per home. So Angel, what catches your attention about this?
It's just one. It is a good sign, because I would say back a few months ago, 3-4 months ago, it definitely wasn't 4. It was more like the double digits, right? So we're talking about half less offers on homes now, which is a good sign, especially for you FHA buyers or your conventional buyers coming in with lower down payments. That's a great sign, right? That you're gonna be able to be more competitive. Mm-hmm. But what I would say is just keep staying with those aggressive offers. Sellers still want those aggressive offers, right? And even though there's less competition, it's best to just try to get your offer accepted up front or come in aggressive up front than not get a counter back, right? So good sign for sure that it's less competition, and that less competition is also kind of what's leading to less appreciation, right? Because it's less overbidding on homes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really, really important that Angel said. Just a couple months ago, there was a lot more offers on homes. And now it seems like offers for FHA, VA loans, which in most sellers' eyes are less favorable, are starting to get accepted. A couple months ago, from January essentially to like July, August, if you didn't have a conventional offer, if you weren't paying out of pocket short of appraisal, your offer wasn't going to be accepted, at least not here in Southern California. Now FHA offers, now VA offers are being accepted. Now sometimes you can actually get a home under asking price. I actually just put a home $15,000 under asking price into escrow just 2 days ago. So yes, you still need to make a strong offer in most cases, right, over asking price, but there are those opportunities where you can get a home at a pretty good deal, and this holiday season is the best time to look because a lot of buyers take that time off. Angel, I want to go into our next article, and that is that should I update my house before I sell it? This is a very, very interesting question. I know that a lot of sellers tend to think, hey, I'm gonna make my kitchen extremely nice. Hey, I'm gonna put a new roof. Hey, I'm gonna change the bathroom and remodel it, right? But a lot of the times these major remodels aren't going to give you the return that you're looking for, right? And we actually have a chart here that says a remodeling payback percentage of cost recouped for common projects. And what we found yielded us the great return for common projects was a garage door replacement, which gives you about 94% of your money back. A deck addition gives you about 66%. A roof replacement gives you about 61%. Bathroom remodel gives you about 60%. And then a major kitchen remodel gives you about 54.7%. So sometimes it just makes sense to sell your property as is and just work on the little details that are gonna make your property stand out, like painting, like landscape, making the place appear larger by removing furniture, bringing out more light, right? As opposed to some of these major remodels that are gonna cost a lot of money. Angel, what catches your attention about this?
No, I totally agree with everything, kind of what you said, right? Just make the home. It doesn't have to be remodeled. Just make it look, make it look a little better. I see homes online sometimes, and they don't look appealing, right? And it's nothing to do with the home itself. It just has to do with one, that should be up. The realtor should advise, obviously, their sellers to, hey, let's declutter this a little bit. Let's make it look a little better just for the photos, right? Because you got to remember, nowadays everyone shops online, so if the photos don't look good, there's a chance that someone's not going to walk into your home just because the photos don't look good, right?
Absolutely.
It brings that potential down. So just easy things like paint, landscaping, a little decluttering of the furniture, and making, you can even maybe hire somebody just to put a little bit of touch on it. That won't cost you too much money. Instead of going through a kitchen remodel is going to cost you thousands and thousands of dollars, right? So things like that just I don't think are necessary when you're selling your home.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with Angel. And you should, as a seller, lean on your agent to help you out with some of these things, right? Ask some questions. They should know, or at least guide you in a way that's going to help you sell your home for more. As opposed to making some of these major remodels, right? You want to try to make rooms as big as possible, and in some cases it makes sense to actually stage a property. Staging a property actually gives you a much better return, but you have to know how to stage it properly, which your agent should guide you, or should have a staging expert that they're already partnered with. And remember, the average home in the United States gets 3.7 offers already. Homes are selling in less than a month 86% of the time. So again, just selling your home as is might be the best way to go upon it, as opposed to making major renovations. I want to go into our next article, and that's the median rents. I know rent is getting pricey. It's getting expensive. I'm hearing this all the time, like, damn, a 3-bedroom, 1-bath is now over $3,000 in rent? Goodness gracious. Yes, it is. Here in Southern California, yes, it is. And the rents are only getting more expensive. Now, a thing that's really caught my eye about rents is, yes, prices are getting more expensive. We just talked about it earlier in this podcast. Year over year, we're at about 18% more. But that doesn't mean rents haven't increased that much. Year over year, rents have increased now. What is this? The average rent has increased a staggering 16.4%, according to the latest national rent report from apartmentlist.com. 16.4%. That's quite a bit. To put that in context, rent growth from January to September averaged just 3.4% in the pre-pandemic years from 2017 to 2019. So I know we don't really talk about rent, but that's quite an increase. Angel, what catches your attention about this?
Yeah, I mean, it might seem like in the shorter run, renting's better, right? Because it is less than a mortgage payment. But it's, and I know you've probably heard this a million times, but it's honestly true. Your rent's going to catch up one day, right? Your rent will catch up to what your mortgage payment would have been at the time if you would have bought, right? And it's always going to be like that, right? History's always shown that rents are going to go up. The fact that rents are going up this much is it's like appreciation on a home right here, right? Except it's your rent that you're going to have to pay. So, I would definitely say it is. I'm sure a little bit of could potentially be financially scary to take that jump, but it'll pay off in the long run because your rent's never going to go lower, right? So
no, it's not.
You might as well take advantage and get in a home if it's possible, and if it makes sense for you and your family.
Yeah, and remember, it's not just that. In a lot of states, the mortgage payment is less than what your current rent is, so you're actually saving some money. It's not that case here in Southern California, but the thing that appreciation, right, is where you're gonna get the majority of your wealth in real estate, right? Principal pay down, you're gonna save some money and build some wealth of principal pay down for sure, right? But appreciation, considering that it's, like we mentioned earlier, 5.1% the last 25 years, it's 20% year over year. The average homeowner gained approximately $51,500 in equity during the past year. Like, that's a lot of money. That's more money than you'll likely pay in rent, and just with the equity gain in itself. So yes, if you have the means to purchase and you can make the payment affordably, I highly recommend taking a look into it. Experts aren't predicting prices to drop anytime soon, at least not for the next couple of years, according to multiple sources. So I want to go into our last and final topic, and that's mortgage rates, right? This is the thing that you've been hearing about on the news almost daily. Like, oh man, we have historically low interest rates. Oh man, interest rates are like the low 2s, or they're the mid 2s. Oh, interest rates are starting to increase. And yes, that's right, they are starting to increase, and now interest rates are over 3%. That doesn't mean that interest rates are not still good. It's still historically low interest rates. And as you can see here in the chart, today's mortgage rates are still lower than the last 5 years, right? We're talking about 3.11% is the average right now. And over the last 5 years, it was between 3.6 to like even as high as 4.5%, right? And then compared to to decades, right, from 1970 to 2010, like, dude, interest rates are still really, really good. But don't be upset because you weren't able to get a home under 3% interest rate. You actually are still able to with certain type of loans, but interest rates still, even now, and the low threes are historically great. Don't miss this opportunity to lock it in. Angel catches your attention about this. This is your field right here. This is what you do.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunately, it's the truth. Right? Rates are going up, and they're actually a little. I mean, they've been going up even more just even this week, right? So, still in the low threes, but little by little they are going up. It's kind of been a little bit of an unstable market. But anyways, with that being said, even with these higher rates, quote unquote, right? Like Anthony said, there's still great rates. And unfortunately, maybe some of you guys did miss that 2% rates, those 2% rates, but still a really good rate. And also, obviously, it's going to be worth it too with that appreciation coming into play when you buy your home. But yeah, I don't think there's anything to be scared of for with these rates, right? There's again still phenomenal rates. There's still rates in the twos for FHA buyers out there, so rates are still in a great place.
Absolutely, and remember, interest rates increasing is going to diminish your house buying power, meaning that it's going to cost more per month for a borrower to buy their same home. So as we have mentioned in previous podcasts, we expect interest rates to continue to increase through the first half of 2022, maybe even through the remainder of 2022. That's going to increase how much your monthly payment is. So if you're able to get into a home sooner than later and take advantage of lower interest rates, I'd highly recommend it. Especially now this holiday season. I'm really like preaching to everybody that I get a chance to, like, hey, this is really a good time to purchase if you're looking to get a better price and get a better interest rate. Angel, is there a last word that you want to say to either a buyer or seller in regards to some of the topics, or just in general that would help guide them in this real estate market?
Yeah, I mean, I think all 5 of these articles, I don't know about so much the updating the house one, but the rest of them pretty much for you buyers, it's all still really good signs, right? Less offers, still really good rates. Any of you renters out there who are thinking about buying, your rent's going to continue to go up, right? It's an obvious. It's obviously going to happen. And then most importantly, homes are still going to be appreciating, right? So those are 4 factors, I think, for anyone who's looking at buying. That should motivate you to want to get something, right? Because it's still going to be a really good investment if you were to buy something right now.
Yeah, absolutely, Angel. Preach to the choir. Absolutely. That, homies, pretty much gives you a good idea of what's happening in this real estate market. This is my favorite 5 articles from Keeping Current Matters. I try to put out content like this for Keeping Current Matters like once a month, just because they do such an amazing job of compiling so much data and then putting it into a chart that's easy to digest. And I know a lot of people aren't familiar with Keeping Current Matters, which is why I try to push out their content as much as possible, because when everyone was saying there's gonna be a housing crash when the pandemic first came, they were the ones that were saying, no, you're wrong, there's going to be a housing boom. And boy, were they right. 20% year over year growth. So
this is not a paid advertisement, by the way.
This is not a paid advertisement. So cheers to Keeping Current Matters for not only helping educate us as a team, but then allowing us to educate you homies out there and hopefully encouraging you all to purchase a home. With that said, thank you homies for joining us today. Angel, where can we find you?
At Your Mortgage Angel on Instagram.
At Your Mortgage Angel on Instagram. You can find us at the Luevanos Group. I want to wish you all the best. Take care. Stay safe. You. Hey homies, it's Anthony. This podcast contains my opinions and is for educational purposes only. It does not guarantee any projections and should not serve as a basis for any purchase or sale in real estate.